Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best, teach a system I invest. Never hidden, I ain't scared, ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing. Yeah. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Purpose is better than any drug you could ever think. If you know why you're doing something, that's all you need. I wake up ready for the day because I believe in everything that I'm doing, like it was meant to be. I get fixated and captivated on learning things. Don't hesitate to ask questions, the answer that I need, it's out there somewhere.
All right, welcome to the Party Pals, GRC Mafia. So once again, go ahead and drop 1 in the chat if you guys are able to hear me. Let's make sure that it's actually streaming properly this time before we go through a 45-minute video. Now, let's see. Right out of the gate, we are here to break down barriers. Foster collaboration community, working towards a more secure future for everybody. Definitely a learning and growing environment. Ask questions, share resources, and so forth. We're all just here trying to, make the world a better place and share what we know, contribute a little bit, and so forth. What are you guys working on? You're more than welcome to share other resources and things like that as we go through. Even if you have questions that don't pertain to exactly what we're talking about, worst case scenario, we can always circle back around to that as well. And if I don't know something, I'm positive either somebody in chat or we at least know somebody who would be able to answer your questions. Now, I did drop the open stage link if you guys would like to come up on the stage. You are not required to come up on the stage if you choose not to, but you could join if you prefer to. It makes it a lot easier than typing in the chat, in my opinion, at least. You do not have to turn on your video. You just run in mic only is perfectly fine as well. Or you guys can also just stick around and chat as well. And Discord's going to be one of the best places if you want to share your social media profiles or resources throughout, because YouTube won't allow you to share links. So the best place to do that is inside of the live chat channel on Discord. And then also on Discord, every single Thursday, we have our badges. So you can go over to our Discord channel or Discord server, and then the live chat channel, and put in GRC Mafia in capital letters, and then that gets you the weekly badge for the Discord server itself. It puts a little icon next to your name. You'll unlock it at another channel and so forth. And all you have to do to obtain that is just attend these Thursday meetings and then enter that code on that channel there. Let's see. Don't share anything that you don't want to be public. If you happen to do so, please reach out to me on Discord or contact studygrc.org. I think that pretty much covers it there. Boy, it's been a long week. And we have one resume here. I'm going to go through and transfer over to our ad roll. So as many of you guys already know, we're not doing any paid sponsorships. Instead, we're just doing these ad rolls to show awareness to these other creators that are out there in the space. But how's everybody doing? GRC Mafia. We'll be right back.
Do you love cybersecurity and GRC? Do you like analogies stretched further than my hairline? Then do I have a channel for you. Hi, my name is Cameron, also known as Cam, and I want to invite you to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel at CamGoddess, where I dive into various topics, frameworks, terms, and foundational knowledge within the broad categories of cybersecurity and GRC. I'm passionate about these things and about taking complex concepts and making them more easily understandable, more easily defined. Everyone is a nerd about something, so come, nerd, learn, and grow with me.
All right, bam, GRC Mafia. Now let me go through and pull this up. So this is going to be the one resume that we do have lined out here. And we'll get right into it. And then we'll go ahead and move into just like the open discussions and so forth. If you guys have any questions or otherwise, or if there's any particular topics that you guys want to talk about, there's all kinds of different stuff that is going on right now, like with Jaguar and multiple other organizations. That's pretty interesting. So I could definitely see this turning into like an open discussions forum as well. Welcome to the party, pal, Rania. Don't forget to grab your badge. And you guys can also go through and drop your guys' recommendations or things that you guys notice within this resume as well in chat, and then I'll pull it up on screen as well. I'll try to keep up with the chat as best as possible. And also, if you guys are unfamiliar, the last Thursday of every single month, we go through and have the Job Readiness Group Resume review session. The best way to submit yours, just make sure it's redacted, take your personal information out or identifying information, and then you can submit it to our contact form on our website at studygrc.org. All right, so let me close this here. Bam, there we go. And so this is technically 2 pages. I think this is probably the way that they ended up exporting it, because it just threw the last couple bulletin points onto a second page. I don't think that's a make or break, but yeah, having 2 bulletin points on the other page is kind of not ideal. I think they could fix that by just taking the margins out of the header here, and then probably down at the footer as well, just to get those extra 2 bulletin points to pop in there. So they do have their phone number, email, and their LinkedIn with the full URL. So that's awesome. Welcome to the party, pal, Luke Canfield. Welcome to the party, pal, Wee. And I also see Brenda popping in as well. Yeah, and we also had Misty Eyed and Cam and Ross Near. Brexy popped in, which Brexy also got the monthly giveaway this month. Bam, GRC Mafia. Let me throw this in. Yeah, and it looks like they did try to save some space already in the first place, just from the professional profile section. I would probably just maybe just call that summary. That's what I see most commonly, but it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I would take the margins out of the header and the footer in order to get that to fit. Experienced information security engineer specializing in vulnerability management, governance, and compliance. Skilled in utilizing Tenable for proactive risk mitigation and lead security patching and remediation efforts. Proficient in regulatory frameworks. The 53, the ISO. I don't think ISO is actually regulatory. Not in the States, at least. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on that? I don't think. I mean, maybe there are some treaties or something like that that would make ISO an actual regulation if you're working international. But at least in the States, I don't think there is. But also, I don't know actually where this person is because it also says my county, state. Let's see. Ensuring security compliance and risk management in highly regulated environments, hands-on experience in incident response, firewall security, and security audit preparation. Passionate about implementing security best practices and staying ahead of evolving cyber threats. Technology proficiencies. So they got Wireshark, vulnerability scanners like OpenVAS and Nexus. OpenVAS is something you could definitely set up locally. Cisco firewall switches, ASAs, PowerShell, SCCM, Cortex XDR, especially if it goes on to the second line, like I would just go through and finish filling, add more tools there or something. And then also, maybe this just has to do with how they exported it, on why that's like not formatted properly there. I mean, that's just another one of the formatting things that I notice here. And like the Windows and Linux, I don't know if it'd really be worth it. Like you could probably just like rename that and say software and just throw it all into one list. Unless you were to expand that list even further. Certifications. This individual has the Sec Plus, A Plus, Net Plus, Project Plus, and Cloud Plus. I would say, I mean, it's another just nitpick. I don't think this is bad so far whatsoever, but I would put the Net Plus before the A Plus personally in that priority level. I think the rest of it's really good though. Microsoft MTA, Networking Fundamentals, CIW, Site Development Associate, ITIL, Foundations version 4. WGU for Cybersecurity and Information Assurance Bachelor's. That was back in 2020. And I think that's placed properly on here as far as location. Yeah, that's been my understanding, is that ISO is not regulatory. So I do believe it could be regulatory in other countries, but not in the States at least. But maybe they had experience with, because they do state that proficiency in regulatory frameworks, and we'll see when we get down to the experience. And so maybe the ISO portion has to do with, maybe they worked for an international company that did have to follow because of regulation for ISO. But if that's not the case, then like I could see that as a negative, because I could definitely see somebody, interviewing this individual and then actually asking them that, like, is ISO regulatory, or how is ISO a regulatory framework? Just because of the wording on on the summary there. All right, so they have their bachelor's for cybersecurity and information assurance as well. Now the professional experience, industrial IT analyst 2, since 23, so a little over 2 years, or about 2 years now. So lead security compliance initiatives aligned with 53 ISO. Okay, so they do have the actual hands-on. Ensuring adherence to regulatory and contractual security requirements. There we go. So I think this comes out way better on here where it says regulatory and contractual. So maybe they have these requirements through, their third parties or their actual customers or something along those lines. And then also conduct monthly staff meetings to discuss security patching and remediation efforts across departments, ensure adherence to best practices. You could probably put in some actual metrics there, like how many do you do 4 staff meetings a month or weekly staff meetings to discuss, current cybersecurity state, like that's resulted in a 15% decrease in incidences in the last 12 months or something. Like you may be able to put some extra information into the second bulletin point to actually throw some metrics in there. Oh, let's see. Welcome to the party, PBO. Yeah, and then B-Dubs does mention the no phone numbers. So at the top here, there is the phone number listed up here. B-Dubs has mentioned before not adding your phone number, or I believe even your city and state maybe. So I don't know. I personally, I could still imagine going through and adding the phone number there, just because at least in my experience, personally, I've went through and applied to a role and then they just give me a call, and I haven't been I've had situations where I apply to a role and 20 minutes later I get a call and go through the interviewing process at that time. So I don't know. I mean, but also another thing is you got to be careful with that information too. You don't want to be just quick applying to everything on LinkedIn or Indeed or whatever with your phone number and email and address and everything else and whatnot. So it still seems like the large majority still has phone numbers. So this particular individual, let me double check here, Cam, just to make sure. So this particular individual is literally what they state is anything in cybersecurity except engineering, as they have no experience or desire for engineering. Some scripting with PowerShell is about as far as they go. But ideally, they're looking for something like maybe doing security awareness training, GRC analyst, improving or implementing new policies and procedures. So working with documentation, GRC, or security awareness training is primarily what they're ideally going for. Yeah, and also Rania mentions that some other countries do require ISO cert for the company in order to do business. Yeah, no, 100%. I'm not saying I like it, but yeah, I've heard the exact same thing where in other countries it may be a requirement to do business. And then also if you're doing business with these international organizations, that's probably contractual as well. And I like how they worded this better on this first bulletin point is NIST 853 and ISO, ensuring adherence to regulatory and contractual security requirements. I think that sounds way better. Conduct, at least if you're based in the States. Conduct monthly staff meetings, all right. Assist in security audits by providing vulnerability reports and risk assessments, ensuring compliance with governance and risk management frameworks. I'm trying to think, like, I don't see any of the STAR method for, like, especially the actual action in full, and then also the results. Like, what did you achieve by doing so? So, like, they state on this third bulletin point, ensuring compliance with governance and risk management frameworks. But, providing some statistics, some metrics there of some sort would probably be a benefit. And I think, especially on this second one, they should be able to add something there. Support the IT security department with project management and ad hoc security requests. You may be able to, like, reword this fourth one and be like, reword that in such a way of something similar to like primary contact for and internal subject matter expert regarding organization security or something along those lines. Like, if you're the person that people go to when they have questions in regards to the security, then you could probably reword that a little bit better with project management and ad hoc security requests. Coordinate with multiple departments and multiple locations to remediate assets as needed. Utilized, that one honestly could probably be removed or go into that fourth bulletin point. Utilize firewall logs to identify and resolve potential security issues in the manufacturing environment. What are your guys' thoughts on redoing that one too? So, like, this one could be reworded a little bit. Well, this person does state that they're applying to cybersecurity positions, so the firewall logs portion is probably a good thing. I was originally going to say, like, that could be changed to, like, utilizing monitoring, consistent monitoring tools to identify and resolve potential security issues early. Develop and enforce security policies and incident response procedures in accordance with NIST guidelines. And that's industrial IT analyst 2. And then before that is MSP. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. That's the main reason why, like, up here in the top summary, proficient in regulatory frameworks, including NIST 853 and ISO 27001, just kind of throws me off a little bit there. Support specialist, MSP. Let me double check here. Yeah, and I don't see, like, B-dubs also mentions, agreed on the metrics, STAR method. I don't see that anywhere on here. Like, this is they only have these 2 positions on here, and that's 2020 to 22. I'm kind of curious to know, did they not have any previous work experience? Like, did they get fresh out of high school and then just pursue straight into a degree? And then into the field, into this MSP, or otherwise? Like, I could see if you fix this margin and put it all on one page, I think that would probably be fine. But it might not be a bad idea to have a second page with maybe projects and other work experience too, because a lot of different things, translate over to the field. I mean, this is the last, 5 years though. So, but especially considering you do have experience, like it's not a bad thing to push this into 2 pages and just briefly mention with 1 or 2 paragraphs previous roles that you had. I think that would be fine, along with a section for like projects or training. Support specialist, MSP, so manage the governance, risk, and compliance GRC needs of clients, ensuring secure operations across new projects, day-to-day tasks. That's pretty awesome, straight out of the bat. Proactively monitored and mitigated security events, responding quickly to potential threats. We're still not seeing any of the STAR method. Like maybe you could mention, you could even put something like in the first bulletin point here of like 10 plus clients handling, these frameworks or something like this. Let's see, proactively monitored and mitigated, conducted proactive monitoring. Like, I think you could literally just go through with AI and give it your experience sections here and just ask it to ask you questions or provide examples of how you can implement the STAR method. And then also practice with that too. So then you could then give it a job application that you're applying to, and then ask the AI to actually conduct a mock interview with you in regards to your resume and the role itself. Just when you upload the resume itself to like AI, like just provide the redacted version of it. But I mean, that's like my key insights there. That's kind of what jumps out to me. I'd probably push this into 2 pages though. Dun dun dun.
No, I agree. I think they definitely need to go into the STAR method, and really the thick margins are a thing of the past. A lot of people are just using 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch margins. They look like they have good experience. They just need to showcase it a little differently.
Yeah, and I think it would be fair to push this into 2 pages, still get rid of the margins to save you space, but I do believe that this individual has more work experience, just not in the field.
Mhm.
But even just briefly mentioning those with 1 or 2 bullets and points, and then maybe adding projects, you think?
I don't even know about projects because they do have experience. I think it just depends on what type of job they're looking for, and I would tailor it off that, because if you were saying earlier that they're looking at like maybe cybersecurity training, well, if they had any type of experience, even if it's not in a related, cybersecurity related specifically, but of maintaining training, even if it was like how I did in maintenance. I maintained training records and a training program because I would train other people. So I think just depends on what they're doing. They might be able to pull in prior experience, but it does depend on what they're looking for, what they're applying to.
Yeah. Well, and it is kind of broad on what they stated here. So, yeah, they do mention like cybersecurity awareness training or security awareness training, GRC, analyst, working with documentation like policies and procedures.
Mm-hmm.
So, a little broad there too. But yeah, so this is the only resume itself that we did receive this month. But you guys are welcome to go through and submit your guys's through our website as well. So just at Study GRC. Oh, I wonder if that actually still goes to their profile. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay. I kind of thought it
Some
did. I was
people.
going to kind of laugh. But yeah, submit yours through the website itself. We do this every single month. And then let me go ahead and rip this down here. Bam. But yeah, otherwise, what's everybody else up to? I mean, there's a couple other topics. Like I was looking at like the whole Jaguar situation where they got ransomware in their factories, all kinds of issues with their third parties, and then it's looking like they didn't actually have hacking insurance. So like their cybersecurity insurance did not cover them for hacks, and so they're looking at a potential like up to I think it's like $2 billion or something like that in costs that they're going to have to most likely eat entirely. So on top of the loss of revenue and profits as well, because their factories are still shut down for another month.
Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, let me pull that article up.
Was that SIM farm, that like SIM card server farm, a recent thing up in New York City?
Yeah, I heard about that too. I didn't research into that one into as much depth, though.
Yeah, I think
I did.
Evan was talking about 911 services being out in, was it Mississippi and Alabama? And I was like, man, that's what they were saying their SIM card would be, the farm could be used for, was knocking out all emergency services lines.
Hmm. Yeah, and yeah, I heard somebody else say that like I think they said something along the lines of like there wasn't very much media coverage on this whole SIM situation. Let's see. And yeah, AB mentions Brexy over here. So we did do our giveaway with the badge hunters, and Brexy did end up winning that this month. So bam, GRC Mafia. Yeah, and Josh mentions that they used to work for a company that had JLR as a client. They're not surprised at all at the lack of coverage, though it's kind of stunning for a company of that size globally. Yeah, it was saying something along the lines of like they've been shut down for like a month now or something, and over 300 million in revenue loss, which would equate to like obviously tens of millions in profits. And apparently now it's coming out that Jaguar, the automotive manufacturer, did not actually have the proper insurance. So there's a good likelihood that they're not going to that they're going to have to eat that cost. So yeah, so this started in March of 2025 with Jaguar. Let's see. Yeah, so there's I think this is the first one that reported on it. Let me pull this up on screen. And I'll drop this in chat too. I don't know why they have such a massive banner. They probably have ads up here or something. Exclusive Jaguar. This I think was the first source that actually mentions it. That they failed to obtain insurance or have the proper insurance. And then also there's another one from like the Times that mentions that as well. So apparently Jaguar has over 300 million in unpaid bills. So
Playing
on top of
funny
that,
money.
yeah, like that's crazy.
I feel like a lot of large global companies operate like that, though.
There was also recently I don't remember the company name, but there was another article that was out there for a company out of, I believe, Europe, out of the EU, on they make the locks for automotive vehicles, and a automotive manufacturer out of China has not been paying their bills. And so now they've like submitted that to like international courts or something along those lines, and they've requested aid from their government to assist them with it, because it's like over 100 million in unpaid bills. So there was that situation too. But yeah, it's kind of crazy when your bills just for a short period of time is over 300 million.
I'm really surprised that their procurement department just kept sending car locks to this company even though it wasn't getting paid.
Yeah, and that I'll try to find that article as well and drop that in chat. I thought it was a pretty interesting article. But yeah, it stated something like they still had like $9 billion in backlog, like orders and so forth. So they've just been continually sending cargo containers of car locks to these people, and they just haven't been paid in a while.
Jesus.
Yeah. And so this is awesome. So this is the one from the Times that talks about Jaguar. It looks like they go into some more detail. This was published earlier yesterday, actually. So this is pretty recent. Talking about the attack itself, but then also they mentioned down here that I was just at, the company is said to be losing $50 million a week. Many of its 33,000 staff have been told to stay home, and there are mounting concerns about the impact on the supply chain.
Yeah, because a lot of places in Europe have protections for employees, so it's not surprising they're still paying all those employees, and there's probably stipulations about how long they have to continue to pay them or severance packages they have to give if they were to lay anyone off for over this. So I'm sure they're counting that in their 50 million a week, all of those salaries.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised that they were even producing 1,000 cars a day for Jaguar. Like, Jaguar is not something I see very often.
But their main customer base is probably going to be in Europe and the Middle East, especially like Dubai. Like I see Jaguars pretty often here in Texas, but I also, I would see them in Egypt. There's a lot of different car manufacturers that are more popular in other countries than specifically in the US. And you live in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, that's not fair. I go places, a couple times a year. Well, like even back in Phoenix and in California, it would be very rare to ever see a Jaguar. And so they also cover Land Rover too, to be fair. So it's Jaguar and Land Rover. I would say I see Land Rover way more often.
In your rugged backcountry home, that would make sense. I feel
Yeah,
like a
because they're so
Jaguar would die
rugged.
in the snow.
I wouldn't be taking any of the modern Land Rovers out here either. So that's the link to this particular article. And then PBO mentions Tysac's auto security. That might be in regards to that lock. But I think he's mentioning the automotive framework, Tysax, that he did a video on. Which also an interesting thing too is it looks like Tysax built on top of ISO 27001. So it's designed to bolt on top of the ISO 27K. And then let me pull up the SIM swap, because I was talking to a couple people about it, but I didn't really look into it. But then also, Josh mentions that it's a pretty interesting situation there.
Yeah, the pictures were, not a bunch of them, but it was pretty impressive to see all the SIM card servers ready and waiting to just DDoS New York.
Let's see. So in September 2025, the U.S. Secret Service. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I think this is in regards to the same thing. So this was posted on the 23rd. U.S. Secret Service dismantles imminent telecommunications threat in New York tri-state area. They have a video for it too. Oh, and it's only 3 minutes long. Nice. So the U.S. Secret Service dismantled a network of electronic devices located throughout the New York tri-state area that were used to conduct multiple telecom-related threats directed towards senior U.S. government officials. Is this the same one that you were talking about, or everyone else
Yeah.
was?
Yeah, that's it.
Huh. I find it interesting that they picked New York and not DC.
Well, there was some type of a event going on there, and I think
Oh,
that's what led to all of this being looked at. But
this seems
I
like
feel like it was a multinational event, like something was going on, and that's why the Secret Service was in the middle of it.
yeah, yeah. Uh, and you don't really see the U.S. Secret Service come up very often either. Even though I
Yeah.
know that they handle like what is it, money or not? Well, I think money laundering too, but fake money too.
Oh, look there, United Nations General Assembly underway in New York City.
I see. I wonder what have they disclosed anything about like the attackers yet? Because I don't see anything on this page in regards to it. I would assume that if they did get a hold of the devices and all, oh, they got photos at least.
I don't think they released anything because they were in like hundreds of locations. It wasn't like one building, one room.
And they were targeting the UN meetup, is what it sounds like.
Well, so essentially the equipment would be able to take out it would overrun 911. It would just DDoS the whole 911 network with all of the cell phone numbers basically. And so they I assume it would like be something if they could take out 911 and then some event happens, then no one would be able to report it.
Yeah, this looks crazy.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
that's a
Imagine
lot.
like walking into an old barber shop that shut down and just like seeing these things all over the damn place. Wow.
Oh my gosh, on the desk. I didn't see that picture. That's great.
Yeah, like yeah, this is beyond my understanding. Like I haven't really looked into any of this stuff very much at all. Um, but yeah, that's pretty sketch. I with these, I mean, these don't look like, you know, these just look like commercial products that they purchased though for the
Hmm.
actual SIM swaps.
Yeah.
And they just say confiscated equipment. Like it looks like they just like rented out an apartment and like threw a bunch of these in there.
Well, and in New York City, I mean, they probably could. A lot of those apartments are so expensive or they're awkwardly sized, like no one wants to live in them or can afford to live in them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the people renting these care what these people are doing in them as long as they're getting money from, rent.
Yeah. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to do more research into that. Like, wow, that's way crazier than I thought it was gonna be. Um, yeah, and then also like I believe Cam was mentioning about the SIM card farm, asking if there was like an assumed group at this point. I don't see anything, at least on this article, but it doesn't surprise me considering government websites typically won't like outcast anybody. And then this was on the 23rd, so like this is really recent too. Let's see. I mean, there's got to be some other ones though too.
Yeah, I don't know if there was anything specific, but it's obviously been something they've been tracking for a while to locate all of those different locations, and take them down. It was obviously a coordinated sting operation, so I'm sure something had to have sparked their interest.
Well, we can all get put on a watch list tonight by mentioning X key score. You know, I'm sure that may have aided in this investigation. I mean, the likelihood is very slim considering the system has been noted as being ineffective. But yeah. Yeah, and then let's see. Sailors also mentions my company is doing their second TISAX audit. It's incredibly in depth, but it's self-assessment from what I can see. That was my brief understanding of TISAX too. So PBO did a video on it a couple months ago. He had came across it in like a job description, and then he did a video on it because he hadn't previously worked with it. And that's my understanding too, is that it's just a self-assessment framework for those requirements and so forth. Just like a bolt-on for the automotive industry in particular, tailored to it.
Interesting.
Yeah, then Josh also mentions nothing has come across yet, but they haven't fully poked around the net yet. They're curious how big it actually was. I just submitted a thing here. So, of course, this information could vary. Now, you guys know that, I jump around from different things all the time. So I rotate my AI all of the time, trying different things. And so now I'm trying out Perplexity again. It's been probably close to a year. Not very satisfied with it, just to throw that out there. But I just went through it, prompted it for this information here, and it's saying 300 co-located SIM servers and over 100,000 SIM cards across multiple sites within a 35 miles of the United Nations headquarters in Manhattan. So the UN headquarters, which probably had like a meeting as well, possibly.
Mm-hmm. I think they're doing some type of a meeting.
And that's according to Secret Service foils, New York Post, Wired, the Register, and the Secret Service as well. So 300 co-located SIM servers and over 100,000 SIM cards. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I don't think they have any arrests, but I think they have.
What was that?
I said I don't think they have any arrests, but they definitely have evidence pointing to nation state threats.
Yeah, and Cam mentions that they had enough SIM cards to send like 30 million text messages a minute. Yeah, and that's what it sounds like is, so I thought it was a SIM swap attack, but it's not looking like that's really the case.
No,
it looks like it's more of like a DDoS.
Yeah, definitely a DDoS.
Oh yeah, and then the UN conference was right now, the last couple of days, US General Assembly. Man, you guys are well more informed than I am. I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. I have my RSS feeds for like over like 180, and then that's like I'll look up things here and there when people mention it. How much money do they?
My LinkedIn shows me some relevant things. I don't know if I'm just following the right pages, but I usually get pretty decent articles on there.
Yeah, that's usually how I've come across the real interesting stuff. Similar to this, where like it's been mentioned to me, and then I'm like, yeah, I should probably look into this. Yeah, and it says right here too that was capable of sending 30 million text messages per minute, potentially overwhelming cellular infrastructure, disabling cell towers throughout New York. While no arrests have been reported at this time, early forensic analysis indicates communications between nation-state threat actors and individuals known to federal law enforcement. The investigation revealed the network was used for various criminal activities, including anonymous telephonic threats against senior U.S. government officials, such as swatting incidences and facilitating encrypted communications for organized crime groups.
How interesting. I wonder if this is like, oh, hey, do you need a end-to-end encrypted phone number to contact your evil crime buddies? We got you.
I would not be surprised if this was like like an actual service that they provided too. Like,
Yeah.
because also like Sailors mentions it's how much did this operation cost? I don't know the exact hardware that was shown there, but like I would not be surprised if that equipment was $15,000-$20,000 a pop.
Yeah. It
So
had to have been expensive, especially renting out or if they owned those areas that they were hosting all of those servers. Like, New York's not a cheap place to rent space.
yeah, and then Cam says that it's not T-Mobile's fault. Yeah, I mean, and like it mentions a state actor, like, yeah, like this is going to have to require nation state like to fund this kind of stuff. And so it does mention current active cases. So Manhattan District Attorney, I don't know how relevant this is. I think this is just like local crime. So New York local SIM swap, because I was originally thinking this was a SIM swap issue. But and the Secret Service has indicated that similar networks may exist elsewhere in the nation with ongoing efforts to identify and dismantle additional operations. The investigation into the September 2025 SIM farm discovery remains active, with authorities conducting forensic examination of all seized devices. I mean, the first country that comes to my mind is China, but China is part of the UN, so I find that crazy, though.
Best place
I
to
mean,
hide
who's
is
to
to
say it's
pretend
not
to be
just
a
some black
victim.
ops? Yeah, who says that it's not just some black ops, operation that nobody knew about? That's never happened before. But yeah, that's kind of not so comforting that they state that that there may be other ones throughout the nation. Like, that doesn't even sound like a really big thing to do either. Like, if you have that much money and resources available, like, traveling to, the lower 48 states and installing this stuff in all the major cities, like, it's feasible.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly doesn't take much. You just need a place and some internet access.
Yeah. Like, there's literal, like, all of the federal buildings and so forth are online. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely something I'm going to have to look back into. Like, that's kind of neat. I'm going to go ahead and run this other one too. What about the automotive? Manufacturer that So one reason why I found this one so interesting, in particular in regards to the automotive lock manufacturer, is just because of how it works internationally. So I did a little bit of research into it, and I previously didn't really look into this kind of stuff very often, but I just happened to come across this article. And I just found it interesting on the fact that like when you're working with international companies, there's international like courts that are also typically involved depending on, you know, who you work with and so forth. And that was really the aspect that I found interesting from, you know, like an international compliance type of aspect. And it looks like it's probably going to fail me here. Yeah,
You
you
get
can
a
see right
vague.
here. Yeah, based on my searches, I cannot find any specific information about automotive lock manufacturers in New York. Yeah, see that, and yeah, like I used Perplexity like a year ago, and it was okay. I moved away from it because it was only really good at one thing, and like unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they've really made progress in the last year. I did try the Comet browser as well, and was pretty disappointed. It's virtually unusable. It's unfortunate. Like I had high hopes. Their marketing is very good. But yeah, that's fine. Oh well. Well, let's see. Let me double check chat. Yeah, and then Cam also mentions I actually heard about both the Sim Farm and the Jaguar deal from Perplexity's newsfeed. You can tailor the topics you're interested in. Yeah, like I think I started playing around with this like I don't know last week, and like it's okay. Like the newsfeed section may be the best, but see, like even on the newsfeed section, it's not. I don't see an option to really tailor it out. Like you just select what category you like the most, and then it's supposed to go through. I believe it goes through and learns more about like what you click on and what interests you the most, as far as like the newsfeed goes. But also like the newsfeed isn't even a paid product. Like I believe anybody with an account can access the newsfeed portion. As far as like the pro version, like like go through and compare the deep search reports between Gemini 2.5 and Perplexity. Like Perplexity is way slower, and I believe they have a limit of 50 a day or something like that for the pro. And then also like the labs is like I'm not like I did want to like start using it, but it's the only time that I've really been too successful, like really used Perplexity well, is when you're actually digging into a very particular topic in particular. So it's just like a second ago how it got confused because it was in the same thread. If I ran that same command, so like I could pull this up and then I could run the exact same command in a new thread, and it would most likely find it. But yeah, it's just too much work. And then also like the Comet browser, like you can't run multiple tabs and like basic stuff. So like when you open up like the AI assistant on Comet and then you have it in that particular tab, if you open up a different tab and navigate away from it, then it like almost all of the time it resets your ongoing chat in that other tab for no reason. Like, and then I tried to open a PDF in Comet browser and it crashed. So I like to try the latest stuff though.
Good for you.
Yeah. I do think that Perplexity does a good job at making it look fancy though. But see, like Google, like with Gemini Deep Research, like it goes through hundreds of resources and cites it. But we'll see. That's a great shout, Rania. Just the storage/building cost would have been widely expensive. Yeah. Jason Bourne is on the case. Yeah, I wish that was a joke though. Like with who this like it's targeting the UN. It sounds like so. Like who only imagines who's actually leading this case? We could very well see a movie about it in the future. And like Cam mentions that the Comet browser is trash. I had huge hopes for it on it. That's like one of the main reasons why I went back to Perplexity to give it another try. Is because they came out with the Comet browser like 2 months ago or something. And like I tried it for a couple days and like it just Yeah, it's virtually unusable. I mean, maybe the
But what
technology will
about
catch up.
Opera?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. I haven't used Opera in, I don't know, 10 years, maybe longer.
I still have it on my phone.
I didn't even know it was still made.
Yeah, it's still supported. They got AI integrated into it and everything.
Well, and so like one of the other aspects of it too is like I typically go through and use Brave browser, and the main reason why I do is because they have AI built in, and
Hmm.
so I could summarize articles, I could do all of this stuff, but you can also connect it to your own local agents if you opt to do so. Um, and then also like Google Chrome has Gemini's button that you could do similar activities with as well. And the whole push with the Comet browser is automation. So what they market is that you could tell, you could just click the assistant icon that they have on there and say, hey, you know, uh, extract the key information from this report and then email it to so and so. And like I tried to do that, testing it out and so forth, and it couldn't. I connected my email, I connected all of the stuff, and none of that would work. Um, and then like when I added it, like unfortunately I already removed it, but I also had it like summarize an article and then make a Google Doc in my Google Drive for it. And like it wasn't able to rename the document. So it like threw, like the name of it in between the letters of untitled, like just basic stuff.
Interesting.
I expected to get a lot better though, with how much money that Perplexity has been able to gather. Like they have an insane amount of resources that they appear to be pushing into it.
Unless they're spending it all on marketing budget.
That too, because I think that's what gets most people involved is the look. I
Hmm.
think the interface is good. Um, like I'll pull this up too. Like I'm going to run this in. But so Singapore smart lock dispute. No, that's not it. Yeah, see, I don't think it even found it. I could have been more descriptive with it, but yeah, this isn't even in regards to what I was trying to find.
I feel like Chinese automakers in general have been having issues paying for more than just locks for a while. I think they put out something somewhat recently about saying that they'll, like, China, maybe the government was like that all the automakers will pay within 60 days of invoice, which is standard for most places.
Yeah. Well, and when you're ordering literal cargo containers of materials, like that
Yeah,
cost goes up really quickly.
for sure.
Uh, Yeah, like one of my previous employers, like I thought it was absolutely insane. Like their pending like purchase orders, like on a monthly basis, would be in like the $20 million range, um,
Yeah,
which is that's an enterprise. That's a company. So
even aviation was the same way. Like, we order an aircraft engine, it's 60, $70,000, and you're waiting on it for a year, but you have to pay the bill up front.
yeah, and then it's just like we were looking at Jaguar. I think it said 50 million a day, and then like over 300 million in losses or something. So yeah, I'm not even able to find this again. I'm going to have to look into it more. It was just a random article I ended up coming across. Oh well.
Control
Let
H for
me.
your history.
Oh, I don't have saved history. As soon as I close the browser, it's gone.
Loser.
Privacy and security. Um, that's also one huge benefit of security keys is it does make like signing back in a little bit easier.
Hmm.
Yeah, 2 billion in losses in total as of right now. And I think that was 2.5 billion. And then, the lack of insurance potential. Did anybody happen to catch the Simply Cyber Firesides chat with AG Yang, GRC engineering book earlier today? I did not. So I think for, maybe obvious reasons, I just tried to keep a little bit of separation with that. But I find it interesting. Like, I've looked into the GRC engineering and so forth a little bit. There was a great conversation we had about GRC engineering in the Discord server, especially with like concerns over separation of duties and so forth. And it's really just another coined term, is what it really seems like. It's no different than GovTech. Like, GovTech wasn't really a term, and then there's like people out there that are trying to make it a term and so forth. So if you look into like GRC engineering, like that's like, I know a bunch of different people who have been doing that just as a security analyst for decades. Like, I don't consider it something new per se.
Yeah, I think it's just marketing for it has increased.
Yeah, it's kind of like, man, I don't know if they actually have that trademarked or not. I don't know if I should say it. I should probably check if there's a trademark on it first. But yeah, there's also another really good known company that everybody knows about, that says something about GRC that I would not be surprised if they like trademarked it. That's what it appears. So reports have come out that Jaguar did have cyber insurance, but the cyber insurance did not cover them for hacks. So that's a huge gap in coverage there, especially when you're talking about billions. What were your thoughts on that stream, though, Josh? Do you have like your notes from it or otherwise? I think I could do a summary of it. Oh, they didn't keep their cyber up to standard and lost their coverage. I didn't hear that part of it. They were trying to get into compliance to get insurance back when the hit. Yeah. So that was my understanding, is that they were in the process of obtaining that type of insurance again when this occurred. I didn't realize that they had lost their coverage because of their cybersecurity. Let's see here. Let me pull this up.
I got smart this week and I put YouTube on the TV.
Bam. Yeah, so this is the one that you're talking about. So 3 hours ago, this was streamed. Yeah, then Josh mentions that they'll do a Discord post when it's done on thoughts. So one of the other benefits I see, let me try to zoom in a little bit here, is with Gemini, this is like a new feature that they're rolling out where you could just ask. So if you get the paid version of Gemini, which like I posted in the Discord server the other day, that people who have a .edu can get a year free again. But I find this really useful because typically, like for something that's more than like maybe 5 minutes or so that I'm not hugely interested in, this is what I use most of the time. So then, summarize the video. And then Gemini will go through, read the transcript, and then provide a summary. It usually does take several hours. It's been 3 hours since it was streamed, so like it probably has the transcript already. Can I make this larger here? Yeah, you guys should be able to read that there. So in this episode of the Simply Cyber Firesides with AJ, moving beyond audit theater. So AJ explains audit theater as the focus on providing compliance for certifications rather than genuine risk. Yeah, it shouldn't be a checklist. Department of Defense RMF update. The conversation touched on DoD's update with the risk management framework. There was also another thing I think was, I think somebody posted in the Discord server earlier in GRC discussions. Yeah, Risky posted about, I'll pull that up in a second. The Department of War announces a new cybersecurity risk management construct, which isn't mentioned here, but it reminded me of that. Shifting towards continuous control monitoring and compliance as code to move away from manual annual processes. Defining GRC engineering. GRC engineering is described as shifting GRC left, integrating it earlier in development pipelines. This involves using technical skills like Python and CI/DC to gather and evaluate compliance data directly from the source, leading to stronger assurance and more realistic policies. I mean, and that's where I say, like, I mean, what I've seen and everything that I've really come across, especially in NIST docs, is that you start GRC as early as possible, security by design, and so forth, including monitoring and so forth. I don't consider any of this a new concept. It's just that most organizations don't drop that kind of money or time and so forth. AG discusses whether the increased technical requirements will make it harder to enter the GRC field. While it may be more challenging without technical skills, he sees it as a significant opportunity with cloud and Python knowledge to stand out. And this is also where an interesting mention to that too, is he mentions Python knowledge to stand out. There was, I mentioned that other guy before, I believe it's called Primetime, where the dude's a developer for decades now, and he does a lot of discussions around development and like programming. And like he had a video somewhat recently about like all of these developers are worried about AI and AI taking their jobs and so forth. And more than 90% of developers are utilizing AI in some way now, which I find interesting. But also, it's created all kinds of different security issues and product problems and so forth as well, which is where that responsible AI comes in. Let me double check the chat. Let's see. Yeah, no, the pain. I get it. Yeah, it is. I could only imagine like whoever was running their program where like this started popping off, and then they're like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna put my resignation in now." Like, let's relay this to the stakeholders that we are not covered.
Yeah, that would be a tough thing to sell to your boss, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, and then AI is presented as a transformative tool that can automate mundane data collection. I find it interesting moving forward because there are some automations that I've seen now that are actually finally beneficial. For junior GRC professionals, AJ recommends using AI tools like ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini to learn, ask questions, understand complex things 100%. Like Notebook LM is like so freaking powerful if you're going through the NIST docs or otherwise. ChatGPT does a great job at like the Excel spreadsheets. Like it really surprises me that it doesn't seem like people are really taking full advantage of the studying and learning capabilities of AI. That may be like one of the things that it's actually good at. But also fact checking. That's also like what I love so much about Notebook LM is that you can go through and it cites every single thing directly from your sources.
That's powerful because when I take notes, sometimes, especially handwritten notes, it's like, oh, why did I write that? Where did that come from?
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's mention about his book for AWS in particular, which is probably down here as well. But like he's also a part of GRC engineering, I believe. Is that it? Oh, I'm gonna pop this up instead. I was gonna try to find the actual page for it here. Come on. Yeah, this is exactly why I don't like Chrome at all. So this right here, so GRC.engineering seems to be like the go-to resource, which they have a really great breakdown of the manifesto for GRC engineering. They mention what the issues are and solutions and so forth are. This one page explains everything very well, in my opinion, on like what their whole goal and focus is. So, yeah, I think this is a good resource if that's something you're interested in. Oh, welcome to the party, pal, David. GRC Mafia. And then don't forget about the badge as well. Let's see. Josh says, I wonder if this approach might actually outpace the comprehension of some of the auditor community that is unless new benchmarks are formed for continuous control monitoring specifics. Maybe. So I think kind of like what you're saying is that in the terms of outpaces, like the existing auditors come from more of a business background and they're less technical. And so that could really hinder them moving into, the future and so forth.
Well, like, I think it's SOC 2 audits, like, they do that annually. So if this is something where it's capturing requirements like every month and showing evidence for being compliant, like, would auditing have to be changed to match that tempo to be able to use it?
Yeah. Well, and I don't think existing auditors would have as much of an issue with it, to be honest, because I also don't consider it to be like overly technical compared to what they would already be working with.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you're already working with the 53 or SOC 2 or whatever, one of the crazy things that I heard about recently is that with SOC 2, like they're seeing somebody I was talking with, they were mentioning about SOC 2 and how some of these different like startups especially are going around saying, oh, I have SOC 2, but then if you actually look at the SOC 2, it states like just for like data backup or disaster recovery or just for data privacy or whatever. Like it's scoped down and not actually for the whole environment. I was going to throw that out there too. I think David B had mentioned that stuff before too. But also when it comes to like the continuous monitoring and so forth, like that stuff's not cheap.
Yeah.
I think we'd only really be looking at the actual enterprises that would be actually legitimately considering it. Let's see. And then honestly, we'll probably start bringing it to an end. Did you guys have any other particular topics or otherwise to mention here? Let me move over here. Bam.
No, now that David B is here, I think we could wrap it up.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. He's doing his 4 times speed right now, so we might be able to beat him. So we will be back again tomorrow for our Friday stream. So every Friday at 11 a.m. And then also, of course, next Thursday as well. And then we're in the Discord server. 2, which is the best place to catch everybody outside of the live streams themselves. If you guys have questions or otherwise, definitely drop it there. And if you guys have, an article or something, like drop it in Discord or otherwise. And then also we have the Coffee Mafia. So I'm dropping the Coffee Mafia in chat as well, which is 100% zero cost. We have 8 different volunteers for that, where you can just go through, pick a time, put in like what you need assistance with. Maybe that's a mock interview. You have questions about jobs, or you just want to chit chat with somebody that's in the space or otherwise. That's a really great resource for that, and we don't want anything in exchange for that at all. Let's see what I'm going to still stick around for a moment here, but what's everybody else up to? And yes, David, by the way, when you do catch up to this portion, it is better late than never.
I'm just kidding. We love you here, David.
Sometimes.
Better late than never.
And the Payne mentions DeepSeek creates less secure, more easily exploited code for countries or groups the CCP doesn't like. I haven't looked into that before. Like, does it look to see like where you're located or what language you're speaking in, and then it gives you a lower quality result, maybe? Like, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, it wasn't it ChatGPT that ended up like shutting down like over 300 accounts or something like that were tied to North Korea and China? Let's see. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, that would not surprise me at all if they literally designed the model to figure out, is this a friend or a foe? And then, if yes, then, give a lower quality result. Yeah, that's very believable. I haven't seen an article or anything else about it, but I could definitely see that being a thing. I think I've only tried DeepSeek as a local model itself. So I haven't actually tried like their platform and so forth. Not really up my alley. I have seen, like, I believe it's DeepSeek R1 or something, I believe is just a little bit below what ChatGPT was at the time. I believe with the 4.0? But I only worked with the local models with it just because, like, I find that pretty sketch. So go through and post it in the Discord server pane. So YouTube does not allow links in chat, but you can post that in Discord. Yeah, because I'm kind of interested to look into that more. I hadn't previously heard about it.
Is it going to be on our Friday AMA?
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, go ahead and drop that in Discord and so forth, and then we can always go through and review that tomorrow. But yeah, thank you guys for hopping in and so forth. Thanks, David B, for hopping in here as well. Doing your 4 times speed to catch up and so forth. And we'll catch you guys later. GRC Mafia.
Are you looking to break into GRC or cybersecurity, or simply level up your career? Hi, I'm Brittany White, better known as B-Dubs. Discover insights and actionable advice at BritWhite.io, where I drop a GRC-related article every Monday morning with a video read-along from my YouTube channel. Visit BritWhite.io today to explore articles to empower your hacker mindset in GRC. And sign up for my free newsletter to receive them straight to your inbox. Are you worried about cyber threats but don't have an enterprise budget? I also work with small and medium-sized businesses bringing them practical, affordable cybersecurity solutions so they can focus on and exceed in their mission. Visit meet.brewhite.io today to learn more and schedule a free consultation.